Welcome back everybody to the channel, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my What If series on the channel. And this time I've become judge, jury and prosecutor of Man City, and I've relegated them. A little bit of a fun video to find out what happens in game as I simulate through the next 5 seasons to see what actually happens to Man City. Now I'll delve into this a little bit. Now obviously Man City have a lot of financial fair play top charges, 115 of them to be exact. It's not looking good. They're trying to appeal things in real life. They are trying to, as far as I'm concerned, wiggle their way out of it. But looking at what has popped up online, there's a few people on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, who have put up some really good threads about how Man City have been basically circumnavigating around the rules for the last decade where these charges are involved, and it's probably continuing on as well. And I'm hopeful that actually the right justice will be handed out, because it's what they deserve. At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, it's cheating. But that's for another story. As I say, I have become the Punisher, so to speak, of Manchester City, and I've relegated them. So as you can see, they are in the VANARAMA National League. I've also adjusted a couple of things on the background side of things. I've reduced their reputation. Their reputation on the game is around about 9,500 out of 10,000. I've reduced that in half. I have also removed any transfer budget that they have for the start of this season in July, and their overall balance I actually deducted, I think, something like 120 million. Basically, I gave them a fine of 120 million. Not that it's going to make too much difference, but I wanted to try and make it a little bit realistic on what happens. Now, as what has actually happened to the staff members and the players, well, if we have a look, managers wise, Guardiola is still there, but bearing in mind this is only the 3rd of July, it's only just the start of the game. If we have a look at the squad, however, there is a hell of a lot of wanted signs on these players. It'd be interesting to see, because I'm going to simulate the first season first, just one season, to see what happens. I am fully expecting Man City still to win this league and bounce straight back up with a straightforward promotion. How many of these players they're going to hold on to? Well, that's going to be the interesting part. So let's zip along to the first season and let's see what happens. Well, here we are. We've gone one full season into the future, and the first thing that piques my interest is that Arsenal fans are apparently worshipping Mikel Arteta, which doesn't surprise me. But we'll have a look at the Premier League anyway, just before we go to Man City, and lo and behold, Arsenal actually won the league. So you take Man City out of the equation, Arsenal actually have a chance to win the league. Bit better than real life, really, isn't it? Liverpool finishing second, United and Spurs and Chelsea taking the Champions League spots. That's not surprising. I also, to do this as well, and I forgot to explain at the start of the video, to do this, to drop Man City into the VANARAMA National, obviously I had to move one team up from each league, and that's what I did. I basically took the league winning side from real life this season and moved them up a league. So the likes of Stockport, Leicester, I think Peterborough was another one. So they've all gone up to their retrospective leagues. I've changed that around. But let's go and have a look at Man City to see how they got on. And surprise, surprise, they finished top of the National League. Not losing the game, only drawing one. And winning 45, pretty much breaking every single record that will never ever be broken again. Weirdly enough though, Haaland only scored 24, Foden got 18. Top of the average ratings, which is unsurprising. Assist wise, yeah, that's unsurprising. But yeah, that's an absolute cakewalk of a league for them. I'm not surprised at that at all. It looks like they managed to keep hold of the vast majority of their first team players. I don't think, I mean, look at the stats, ridiculous. But hang on, oh no, Ederson's still there. let's have a look at the transfer history. So transfers out. Let's have a little look-see. We'll rearrange this into the top ones. And nothing really standing out from what sort of happened in real life, to be fair. So, yeah, that's all as is. Now, that is unsurprising, to say the least. At the end of the day, it's Man City. In fact, actually, let's go and have a look at their profile. Their overall balance now is 15 million. Somehow they still have a transfer budget of 99 million going into League 2. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And this could be why Man City are in trouble, because they're not bringing in profit and loss. 27.5 million for this season, and they've got a transfer budget of 99. Something isn't adding up. And that's probably why they are in big trouble this season. But now I'm going to go and simulate seasons 2 and 3 together. So we're going to jump forward to 2026 to see what happens. So hop along, let's go and find out. So yeah, here we are, 1st of June 2026. So we've gone a couple of more seasons into the future. And purely just out of curiosity, I see Spurs have got a manager position free. But who has been dominating the Premier League? It looks like it's just been to and fro between Arsenal and Liverpool then. That, again, doesn't surprise me too much. Let's have a look at... No. Let's have a look at Liverpool. Who is in charge? Luis Enrique. That's an interesting choice. I'm presuming Arteta is still in charge. No, that is Thomas Tuchel. He is there. So if Thomas Tuchel is in charge of Arsenal, where on earth did Mikel Arteta go? He got sacked. Even after winning the league. And the Champions League. Alright. Okay, it's a bit harsh, if you ask me. But still, let's go back to the main story of Man City. Unsurprisingly, are top of the table in League 1. So that must mean they've done back-to-back promotions, which, again, is not surprising in the slightest. If we have a look at the trophies along here. So, yeah, Sky Bet League 1, 2026, Sky Bet League 2, 2025. So, yeah, that makes sense. Let's have a look at the league. In fact, no, actually, we'll go to here for the previous season. Stages, league table, go back one, and again, 44 won, 1 drawn, 1 loss. Oh, that's a lot on it. Wrexham joining them though, and Wigan and Crew. Yeah. Okay, but 133 points, that's probably another record as well. Wouldn't surprise me. And Tranmere actually won it this season. Go on, Tranmere. And we'll have a look at Sky Bet League 1, and we'll have a look at the stages on that one to see. Yeah, 129 points. They drew 3 this time, which is a little bit surprising. I wonder, we'll have a look at the squad in a second. I wonder if a few players have moved on now, and they have only lost 1. Depending on, I'd like to see who's actually managing them as well. So we'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at the manager. It's Michel, who was at Brighton and Girona. So he's Girona's man. Okay, interesting choice. Which means Guardiola left his manager role and is unemployed. Okay, that's an interesting one. Obviously they had the caretaker position and then Michel came in. He's only been there for a year. So Guardiola basically did his job and got them bouncing a little bit more. But it does seem to be a few players are missing. So that was the first season that we simulated. So this, whoa. They made 300 million in transfers. It's not surprising. Haaland, Ederson, Stones, Cancelo, Vardiol, Oscar Bob, Nathan Ake, Rico Lewis. That's cheap for Rico Lewis. I've seen him go for a lot more than that on this game. So that is not surprising. But what is a little more surprising is that a few more have gone here. Look at the free transfers. De Bruyne has left. Again, that doesn't surprise me. He runs his contract down anyway. Bernardo Silva, Echeverri. But not as many. Ortega's gone out on loan. Gomez has gone out on loan. They've spent some money. I mean, at the end of the day, they're only in the Championship at the moment. They're still bringing in Lokonga from Arsenal. Martin from Chelsea, Broja from Chelsea, brought in Vandenberg from Liverpool. That's a bit of a weird one, to be fair, but that's probably the calibre of players that they've had to go for. But they've still got a lot that have stayed loyal. Now, I'm quite surprised that Kyle Walker's stayed. He's retiring, though, at the end of this season. Rodri stayed. Akanji. Let's see, where else have we got there? Kovacic, Calvin Phillips, Nunez, Grealish and Foden, and Julian Alvarez and Doku all stayed loyal. I'm a little bit impressed with that, actually, to be fair. I thought a lot more of them would have... Well, I was kind of hoping it would be absolutely stripped apart, but it hasn't happened. One thing I did want to check, actually, was the history. Let's have a look at the competitions again. So, the Champions League 2023, that's the year that they won it in real life, and they would have been in the Champions League that first season of the National League, where I relegated them, but obviously they didn't win it there, and I don't think they've won... They wouldn't have been in the Carabao Cup. They were the runner-up in the FA Cup, but besides that, no other domestic trophies, which, again, I'm not surprised, besides the league titles of their respective leagues. So, to finish this off, I'm going to simulate seasons 4 and 5, so we're going to go to June 2028. I'll see you in a few seconds once I've done that. And here we are on the 31st of May, 2028, so that is the 5-season simulation done. And before I go to Man City, I've just noticed that Man United have hired Carlo Ancelotti, which is a little bit strange. I've not seen that one happen before. But let's dive straight into Man City to see how they've done. Oh, hang on. And they are back in the Premier League. That is not surprising in the slightest. This will be their first season back, I am presuming, because of the history. Let's have a look at Sky Bet Championship. So yeah, they did it in 2027. So that would have been... Let's have a look at the stages. League table and go back a season. Oh yeah, they absolutely trounced that one as well. They did lose 6 games, which is a little bit more than I expected, but still 112 points. Nobody was catching them really, and Southampton and Palace came up with them, so that's not too bad. But if we have a look at the squad wise, their squad is all over the place, but still pretty good. Looks like they've signed into Debo. Rodri's still there. Ruggeri has come from Atalanta. He's moved there now, and they've still got Michael Olise, Saint-Maximin. They've signed some decent players, but not as many as I thought. So this will be the season that they start on. So they spent 204 million. 204 million for a championship club is ridiculous, and I think I'll come to this conclusion in a second once I finish this off, because they only sold 27 million. One of them was Akanji. He was the most expensive, and he went to Brighton. The season after that, only 14 million. But they spent 218. Okay. I just want to check, actually on the managers side of things. So it is still Michel. He's in the Premier League, and he's managed to get them to qualify for the Champions League for the first time in 5 seasons. Level on points with Liverpool, and only a point ahead of Chelsea and 2 points ahead of United. So Arsenal have been running away with it again. Past winners wise, it's been chopping and changing between Arsenal and Liverpool, which is pretty decent, but now Man City are back in it. I don't imagine it would be too long if I simulated a couple more seasons before Man City win the Premier League again. But here is my conclusion, and I think this may actually prove it a little bit. This simulation was meant to see how the club would cope with being relegated into the National League, which I personally believe is something that should happen. If that doesn't happen, then I think there will be uproar. But I also think that perhaps relegation now is not a suitable enough punishment for them, because within 5 seasons they bounce right back up into the Premier League. And you saw there, for the transfer money that they were bringing in and the transfer money that they were spending, it could mean nothing to relegate them, because at the end of the day they're still going to have money pumped into that club by their owners, with complete disregard of how many players they're selling. They're supposed to be a level pegging between who you bring in and who you sell, as well as the commercial money that you make, but Man City being in the lower leagues wouldn't make anywhere near enough money commercially, so either the game's out of balance or it is showing a realistic take on how Man City works in the background. But let me know what you think. Please leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. There are plenty more videos like this one, and subscribe to the channel. New series is coming out soon of Glory Hunter and also a Build a Nation at the same time. 2 separate saves that I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying doing them at the moment. So yeah, tune in for that one, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.